everyone. This is going to be a general message for whoever is guided to watch this reading. I woke up and felt like doing a reading today, but it didn't feel as though I wanted to target it or focus on a specific sign. It just felt like I needed to come on and see what the message is. Like somebody needs to hear the message. There is a pull in a sense. And so here I am. It's Saturday morning and I feel like reading. And on top of that, it does feel like I am being told to do it. Okay, so there's like a feeling around I have to, or something is telling me to. So I don't know if this is how you're feeling right now or something that you're going through, which is being told, feeling like you have to do something. I also got a couple visions. One was teeth, like it wasn't a person, but it was just the image of like teeth, right? Like maybe it was like a skeleton head or something like that, but the teeth were really white and there was ash. Okay, so it was like everything was just powdery white. Oops, sorry, that was loud. So teeth for me signify wisdom, okay? Especially if you're losing the tooth or something like that, especially like in a dream where, you lose a tooth, it means an ascension or a step up in your experience, or you learned a lesson, something that you didn't know before, you know now, right? Like there is a maturity here. And then, of course, the ash makes me feel like there is a new start. So starting from the ground. So maybe some of you are starting from scratch. Okay, maybe you've hit the ground and now there's no way but up. But you have more wisdom this time. Okay, you learned something this time. You're able to not make the same mistake that you made the last time you tried this thing. Okay, so I don't know what this is about, but let's start pulling some cards. So in my readings, what I like to do is I like to start off with some oracle cards, and then we go into tarot, and then we get more and more detailed and specific. So if you're into these types of long form detailed readings, this is your place. I'm glad you are here. Welcome in. So we're going to start pulling from the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck. This is an astrology and numerology oracle deck. It's really beautiful. It's my type of art, my taste in art. All right, what is coming through for the collective, for whoever it is that is meant to hear this reading today? Yeah, oh my God, okay. So Saturn, right, hit it right on the nose, right? We talk about wisdom, and when we correlate wisdom with a celestial being, it is Saturn that comes through. So maybe some of you are learning a big lesson or have learned a big lesson. Maybe some of you are going deep and dark into your psyche, into your deep emotional body, to commune with this higher sense of who you are, with this more knowing, wiser version of you. But this is asking to do the right thing and to be smart and to be responsible. Okay. Maybe some of you have an obligation, a responsibility. Maybe you are being called to really step up and do better. All right. So what I feel with Saturn is like it pushes us to be the best that we can be, even if that comes with challenges. To overcome the challenges is how we become the best version of ourselves. Now, I have Saturn in the first house, Saturn in Scorpio, and it's very, very close to my Mars in Saturn in Scorpio in the first house. It's not exact, but it is very close. So Saturn has been one of my lifetime guides in this life, right, that I'm living at this point. So I can relate to the feeling of, why can't it just be easy? Why do I always have to go through something? And in the beginning parts of my life, I was very defiant. I wouldn't say beginning, I'm 40 right now. So probably like 75% of my life I've been defiant. I've just barely started to learn my lessons of just do the right thing, right? Just do what's required of you. I know better. Mentally, logically, I've always known better. I've always known right from wrong. It's just I was not going to allow God, source, universe to dictate and tell me what to do, right? So naturally, I was very defiant and I went against the grain. I went against what I was supposed to do, against what was for my own good. And because of that, I've learned so many lessons. And because of that, I've been at rock bottom so many times throughout my life, whether that's literally, physically in the material world, or emotionally, even mentally, right? Of course, spiritually. And so, learning to pick yourself back up, right? So Scorpio in the first house, obviously, it's a constant transformative energy, but I'm not saying that that's for everyone, right? Not all of you have this placement, but I'm just talking from my perspective and my experience of dealing with the Saturn placement, no matter what sign it is, no matter what house it's in. If Saturn is calling right now or coming up in this reading and it's a prominent energy or a message to give, this is talking about just getting out of your own way and doing the right thing, doing what is right, okay? Doing what is morally ethical to you, doing what is best for you or best for your family, right? Getting out of the cycle of these behaviors and patterns that we have that only prevent us from being our best selves and living our best lives. So lessons to be learned here with this energy for sure in this reading. All right, let's pull some more Oracle. Going with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Give us some more details, please. Ooh. All right. So we have two cards that came out. Gratitude and New Beginnings. And then one more Oracle deck, Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. I mean, this is exactly, it's like sometimes we can feel, especially if like we are not at a wise enough level in life, at a mature enough level, when things happen and start to go downhill, like a perceived downhill, or there's challenges or whatever, like we get mad about it, we get angry, frustrated, we feel as though God, source, universe is not on our side, is not favoring us. What did we do wrong? We must be a bad girl. We must be a bad boy, right? If, I don't deserve to have good things or to get a break every now and then, right? Like, why is there always challenges? Well, the challenge is the blessing. The ability to push yourself and to overcome and get back up from the ground. And when you overcome that and you meet that challenge and you succeed, that is the power that you have, right? As a soul, as a being, pushing you to see your power. Saturn, for me, also talks about that, right? Like, it is an energy of your personal power, your sovereignty, your own individual authority, right? Like the stamp that you have on this world and everything that comes with that. And so when you're faced with these challenges, I can't even, like, the feeling that I would have when I picked myself back up, and maybe it's a little arrogant or whatever, but it is a feeling of, damn, like, I did that, right? Like, what else do you have, universe? that I can prove to myself that I can overcome, right? So it is a buildup of power here. And instead of feeling negative about it, see this new beginning and this new challenge as a blessing. Obviously, you're meant to start something new right now. Obviously, what was before in the past from this second before is not needed in where you're going. Okay, so whatever it is that you're ending so you can start this new beginning, those things that are ending are not necessary for the place that you're supposed to go next. All right, and even though it may feel ugly and heavy and, you know, emotional, or you don't want to let go, or I don't know what, it is a blessing, right? And to be grateful for the fact that, hey, I have a second chance. Hey, there is a new beginning. The possibilities are endless of what I can make out of this situation. Goddess of sacred power, you are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. This is not about anybody else. Okay, there's no blame to give, and there's no one to blame, right? It's all about self and taking responsibility and accountability for your place, your situation, where you've put yourself, where you've landed, right? Even if it has to do with other people, take all of that mess out and focus in on the fact that you are here in this place, in this moment, right? And this is about you. What can you do about it? You know, it's no one's fault. Okay. It just is. It's just what happened. It's just where life puts you right now. If you start to think of the external and the people and the circumstances and how it all led to this, and the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and, you know, all of that stuff, that is going to just keep you back and further behind, instead of starting this new beginning fresh, doing away with all of that distraction and all of that extra stuff and just focusing on the self. Okay, you are your own authority here, right? We spoke about how I feel Saturn helps us realize our own sovereignty and authority, taking a leading role in your current situation, right? This is all you right now. And this is about the power that you have to start this new thing, to transform, and to prove to yourself, or whoever, that you can do it. All right. If that is something that is important to you, I don't know. Okay, let's see. What deck do I want to use? Let's go into your personal energy, start doing some tarot. I'll go with this one. It's in the personal energy of the group that I'm picking up on today. Mind, heart, body, soul at this time. I want to say someone talks a lot, or someone talks a big game. And I don't know if this is you or someone else, but it's like either this person talks a big game or thinks, you know, of themselves as a big game, right? Like they're capable of more. And that's a good thing, you know, if you're starting to think like that, like I deserve more than this. I can do better. You know, there's nothing that I cannot handle. There's nothing that I cannot overcome. It's also this feeling of like a little bit of nerves. I'm feeling that. Like, oh, okay, I can do this. You know, maybe you're faced with like a situation where you have to really prove your abilities, your strengths, your talents, your skills. I don't know. So it feels a little like there's some tension or there's some overwhelm, you know, just for sure nerves. It's like, you know, you can do it, but you're still a little nervous. Knight of Swords. You have a lot, right? Like this is the mental power here. You know, if you use the Knight of Swords, efficiently, productively, smart, if you're smart with your thoughts, if you're smart with your strategy, with your process, with how you are communicating, picking and choosing your battles, or picking and choosing, you know, who to talk to, at what point to talk to them, what to say, what not to say, right? Like it's very, I'm getting very strategic behavior here. Ace of Pentacles, beautiful. You're looking for this opportunity. You're planting the seed. Like you see it, you have a vision. Four of Cups. But why the Four of Cups? Well, I mean, it's just a little bit of letdown. It's like somebody here saying like, damn, like I have to start all over again, or damn, I have to do this by myself now. You know, like somebody or someone has let you down. Maybe you are lacking, or there's like a void, you know, an emptiness that you're trying to fill here with this new opportunity. There's an emotional void. And whether you realize it or not, you're trying to fill that emotional void with the material world, with something of the physical. So that could be money, that could be things, possessions. You know, maybe you're trying to fill this emotional void by working your butt off, right? Like doing extra work and keeping busy, building an empire, right? Like making more money or whatever. All to distract from this feeling of letdown, right? Like when it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to the emotional stuff, you know, maybe connection and relating with other people, or having like intimacy, feeling like you're a part of a group or a part of a relationship. Maybe there's a little bit of loneliness here. But at the same time, there's lots to do, you know, and you have to do it all by yourself. And it feels just, I don't know, like sometimes maybe whoever I'm picking up on, like sometimes you just want to share your burdens with somebody, or talk to somebody about it, or, you know, maybe you want to feel like somebody has your back, right? Like you can depend on another person. Like, why do you always have to get through this by yourself? I'm picking up on like a single parent, you know, like somebody who is a caregiver and doesn't get help from anybody else. Like it's very tiresome. Okay. It's all in it. And even those things are all in how you perceive them to be, right? Like if you constantly think, or if your go-to belief system is to think negatively, or to victimize yourself, or to talk to yourself in ways of like criticism and judgment, you know, then that's a type of experience you're going to have no matter what. You can have a person who is, let's just say for an example, a single mom, really, you know, having to pay all the bills, take care of the kids, like do all the things by herself, right? Just as an example, you don't have to be a woman, you don't have to be a mom, whatever. But it's your perception that will create the overall experience, right? Like, is this a blessing to you? Are you grateful that you can do this, that you have the opportunity to, you know, work and raise your kids and all of that? Or do you see it as, damn, like a burden, right? Do you see it as because you have no help that, you know, you're just struggling and blah, blah, blah? Like it's two different experiences of the same situation. And how does that work? Because of our thoughts and how we think about it. If we're thinking negative, we're going to have a negative experience, basically, right? If we're thinking positive, no matter what it is, you know, we're going to have a positive experience. So it's something to think about. And I know it's cliche, but man, like if you're on the healing journey, you know, depending on what stage you're at, some of you already know that that is truth, right? Like that is real. And if you're just starting on the healing journey and you don't see that, you will soon see. Hanged Man. This is in your environment. Something is stalled, okay, in your environment. There's no movement. There's no momentum. What else? The Tower. The Eight of Wands. So the card of no momentum comes out with the card of fast movement. Something has to break and just really erupt in order for this energy to start to flow. In order for you to get this boost, you know, this lucky break I'm getting. Like, you have to see something from a different perspective. And here I go with that feeling of control. Remember in the beginning, I said it feels like I had to come in and read. Like maybe some of you are feeling like you have to do something. This feels very much like that. Like you have to see this from a different perspective in order to identify what needs to go, what needs to break down. And I'm sure you know by now that especially with the Tower, you know, especially with Saturn coming through, depending on how it's hitting you in your birth chart, like there's a lack of control when it comes to what is leaving you right now. We know that you're starting a new beginning, which means that something is going. And either you can see it from a better perspective, so you can see the blessing in it with the Eight of Wands and go a certain direction and really have the motivation and the inspiration to get something done, or you can see it as a negative and pause this Eight of Wands from happening, which is only going to bring in more challenge, more burden, more walls, more obstacles, you know. The Tower. This is something that is going. Something that you worked a long time to build, that you put a lot of energy into. What is the Tower? Tower, please. The sun here is making me feel like you know what it is. It's obvious. It's obvious what's going. It's obvious what's breaking. You know what has to go. And for whatever reason, you hold on to it, which is natural. Sorry, I have to drink water. It's like sometimes we procrastinate and sometimes we hold on and hold on and hold on because we're scared of change, we don't like uncertainty, we don't have a plan, like when we let this go, then what, right? Like familiarity, comfortability, like all these different reasons to hold on to something. Knowing that you have to let it go, knowing that it's only bringing conflict, knowing that you have somewhere to go, like you have a new beginning. Okay, whether I feel like that there's something waiting for you on the other side of this, but your mind and how you think and perceive things is blocking that, is preventing you from really believing it. Like logically, that there's another option. Logically, that you can, let's just say like maybe you have to leave a job. Logically, that you can get another job, right? Let's say you have to leave a relationship, a person. Logically, that you're not going to die if you're not with this person. Logically, that life goes on. Not everybody is meant to be with people forever. Logically, that you'll meet someone else in the future, right? Like all of these things, like, that it's not the end of the world. That this is part of life. But there's this other side of you, your perspective, your mind, your belief system that gives excuses and prevents you from making moves. Okay. All right. Let's go into more detail. This is a newer deck I just got. It's called Supernova Tarot. Super cool deck. I started to do videos like showcasing some of my favorite decks. I need to get back into it because I have so many like decks that I love that I want to just show and put on my channel. Okay. Let's see. What is it for this person that I'm picking up on today? More detail, please. This could also be a 30-day look out, 30-day reading, this next part of the spread here. What's coming through? What does this group need to anticipate, prepare for, know about? Beautiful. Love this. 8 of Cups. You're going to whatever it is that speaks to you. This 4 of Cups with the 8 of Cups, it's like what you're lacking emotionally, all of that energy we spoke about when it comes to like relationship and intimacy and being part of a group or being part of a relationship, all of that, like you want to go toward that. Okay. 8 of Cups. You're looking for that. You're going toward it. Is it going to take work? Yes, it's going to take work. With 8 of Pentacles. I'm going back to the energy of strategy. Like you need a strategy. If you don't know that already, I'm sure you do. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of strategy, the Emperor comes out. Like this whole reading is like literally meant for you. So whoever's listening to this, because I am behind on reading for the signs. I could have been reading for one of the signs, but something told me to just do a general message today. So there's a reason for that. The Emperor, in control and strategic, powerful, confident, all right, a leader. Soaring above. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I know I'm dramatic, but oh well. Can you, oh my God. Can you see that? Like the Emperor and the Empress. Where you're lacking that emotional connection, you're going toward it. Whether you are single and you're going toward it, or you're in a relationship and you want to build more intimacy with your person, either way, it's you want it. You're going toward that. But it's going to take work. With the Ace of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, there is a 7 of Pentacles here, which means that this work involves doing something different, right? Like regrouping, you know, identifying like the, what is it? Like what's working and what isn't working. Putting your cards on the table. Like what can I keep? What needs to go in order for these two to really thrive together? For a lot of you, it feels like you need to step into both of your feminine and masculine qualities in order to reach this sense of emotional fulfillment as well. Okay, you need to feel in control. What is the word? Encouraged. No, it's not encouraged. Empowered, as well as be able to receive the blessings that either the universe or a person is coming through with, right? Like there is a blend here that is necessary in order to reach this heightened sense of emotional fulfillment with the 8 of Cups. But work has a part to do with that. What else? It's making me feel like enough with the games, enough with the the behaviors, you know, and maybe you're used to this whole like push and pull, or push people away to see if they'll stay, or you know, like maybe there's also people who are very much in the mindset of this is me, I'm not going to change for nobody, like blah 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 blah, you know. And it's just like, what the heck? Like, you're going to change regardless. The universe is going to push you to change, and if you don't and you refuse to, like, you are not taking full advantage of this lifetime right now. Like, this lifetime is meant for us to change, is meant for us to get better and better and better. I have been so many different versions of myself throughout my 40 years. It's not even funny. Like, and going from, you know, maybe as a child, like very timid and passive and, you know, scared, to like my teenage years or my early 20s of very like, I don't give a F, you know, type of energy, and I'm just going to do whatever I want. And then going into this whole like overconfident, like power games and egos, and, you know, just being like really like I'm a badass and nobody can touch me, to like now it's like, ugh, all of that is so stupid looking back at it, right? Like, it's ridiculous. But I'm grateful that I experienced those different versions of self, because it's helped me see the truth of who I really am and how to make the best of this life, how to love, how to receive love, how to bring my guard down, right? How to like realize that I'm no one important, but at the same time, I'm the most important, right? Like, and how to be in a like build better relationships and have a happier overall, better quality life, because I don't have all of these old behaviors, you know. And in those days I would be like, I'm never going to change. Like, I'm always going to be this way. Forget it. The universe is like, no, you're not. Right? I'm going to bring you all the way down and throw you on your ass so you can learn a lesson that this behavior, right, is basically stupid. You know, like, grow up, right? There's more to life than this. There's more meaning than this. You're better than this. And I don't know who I'm speaking to. I don't know if this is you or not. But that's what it feels like, you know, the getting out of those mental belief systems of self and who you are, and learning something, right? Like, why are you that way? You know, and what does that say about you, and what caused it? Right? Like, what in your childhood caused you to have these defense mechanisms and these behaviors that are literally preventing you from having high quality experiences, you know, loving, authentic, intimate, close relationships, attracting people who are literally good people, right? And are there for you and that love you, instead of the drama and the toxicity and the darkness and, you know, all of these things. It's time to get out of that if this is who you are. It's time to grow up. It's time to realize, right, that all of that stuff is just a wall and a mask and a defense mechanism to this vulnerability inside of you. Okay? If you want a better relationship, if you want a better quality of life, then be better. 6 of Wands. What else? The Star. Love that. Well, in the next couple of weeks, you will definitely get what you want and overcome something huge. All right? Which is a beautiful thing here. The Star being your hopes, wishes, and desires. The 6 of Wands being accomplishment. Here's the Hangman again. Yes, it'll feel strange. It's going to feel strange and unusual and new. You know, maybe you're not going to feel very comfortable or natural in this new state of being. Even though this is really what you want. whether you know it or not, you will, like, I'm getting that strong. Like, whether you know it or not, once you experience this here, this accomplishment, this wish come true, this blessing, this, like, maybe you've asked for it, or, you know, it's like one of those fleeting thoughts of like, oh, that'll be nice, but you don't think that it's realistic for you or something like that. Whether you know it or not, it is what you want, and you will realize that. It will cause you to feel new in this space. But it's also going to push you to see something, and I'm getting more so yourself from a different perspective. Your belief system is definitely going to be challenged here about, and when I say belief system, I don't mean religion, all right? I mean how you perceive life, how you perceive self. That's what I mean. So your belief system on that is definitely going to change. It's going to feel awkward in the beginning. And for some of you, this is probably the beginning of your journey, the beginning of your soul journey, your soul searching, your healing, your ascension, you know. And it happens in these ways. And for a while, it's dark and ugly. But it starts to create more beauty in your life. It starts to bring in more calmness, less stress, less tension, less challenge. You know, when you start to see things from that bigger perspective, that more loving perspective, when you don't feel like you have to put your defenses up anymore, or, you know, when you don't perceive things to be a struggle, when you don't think that you're struggling, then you start to create a lifestyle of that does not involve struggle. Does that make sense? Like, when you don't think about struggle, you don't have struggle. The world, definite change. You're building something. You're building a new world. Beautiful. What else? Oh my God, I can't. The Wheel of Fortune. One more. You're on your way. You're on your way to peace and to healing. King of Pentacles at the bottom. To having, again, the quality of life, right? What else am I getting from this? I think that this phase that you're going into is definitely going to involve a lot of internal thoughts, right? Like reflection, time alone, time in nature, to commune with oneself, with your higher self, with God, source, spirit, universe, Gaia. It's healing work, you know, releasing the external pressures, releasing the expectation. That's big. That's a big part of the ego death or the ego healing, basically, right? Because we don't necessarily lose the ego, like we are human at the end of the day. But the healing of it, the ability to be more efficient and productive with your ego, you know, to use it to your benefit instead of your detriment. Communing with nature and getting out and doing things on your own and reflection and like all those things, like it helps with the ego death, you know. Oh, but I was saying about the expectations that either you have of self or that you think others have of you, right? Like a lot of times we think to ourselves, like, we're a certain age, we should have this. We should be in this place in life by now. We should, you know, look a certain way, have a certain amount of money, like whatever it is. And all of that adds to this pressure. All of that adds to not feeling peace. And there's acceptance that goes into releasing expectation, right? Accepting yourself, accepting your place in life at this time, being grateful for life at this time, regardless of what it looks like. And then if you want more, if you want something different, accept and be satisfied and grateful with where you're at. But it would be nice if I got paid $5 more an hour, right? So I'm grateful for what I have, but let me start looking for a job that is going to pay me more, right? Instead of feeling like, damn, like I'm struggling, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I can't do this or I can't do that because of my job or whatever. Like, it's the perspective that creates the experience. So all this to say is that you are going somewhere with this. Okay, you see it differently, and now you're able to really put that plan together. Now you're able to really start this new cycle here with the world and the Wheel of Fortune, and it feels better. You feel better. It's calmer, it's quieter, it's peaceful, it's healing. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope this helped somebody see your situation in a different way. I think that tarot is very much like that, right? It's insight and perspective. It's not, this is what you should do or not do, or, you know, whatever. Like, it's just guidance, and you take it or you don't. These are, it's the Yin Yang Oracle. I'm just pulling cards to see what else is coming through. So deception and temptation. You did have the Devil card underneath the King of Pentacles. So I don't know if like you're kidding yourself about certain things here. Again, the perspective of self. Be careful with like being tempted to go against what you know you should do. Because this storm is coming, because the unexpected is coming in your environment, you may be tempted to go a different way, to do what you always do, instead of doing it smarter and more mature. Confusion, Neptune, illusions. What is this? I don't know. If you're dealing with somebody in your environment here, you may be very confused about why the ending has come about. Okay? You may be very confused about why the relationship has been shooken up and torn down here with the Storm card. I think that maybe you saw something that was, how can I say, like you felt that the thing was solid, you felt the thing was good, but because it has changed and it's no longer the same, you're confused. If you have people around you who are trying to steer you in a direction that you know you shouldn't go back to, then that's like, that has to do a lot with this confusion of like, what do? I know like I should do it. I know my lesson already. I know what's going to happen, right? If you go backward and you fall into temptation and don't do the right thing, you know how that ends. You've been there before. It feels like you're confused about what step to take here. So if you are prone to being gullible and believing everything you hear and being influenced and all of that, especially by a specific person, it's going to take a lot for you to really get away from seeing things from these rose-colored glasses here and seeing the truth. Because if you're dealing with something that you are second guessing and doubting, there's reason for that. You don't doubt truth. When truth is present, there's no doubt. There's no doubting, right? There's no need for it. The truth shows itself. Truth is present. You see it, you hear it, you know it, there's action around it, right? It's physical truth. And if that is not there, then something is missing. So the fact that you are confused and you feel like something is an illusion and you have doubts about it, that's truth in of itself, that something is off. Okay? For whoever needed to hear that. That's like validation at the end of the day that something is not true. You should go the other way. You should go the other direction. All right, guys. Well, listen to your sun sign readings or star sign readings, whatever you want to call them, because I do those on a regular basis on the channel. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you like this, if you got anything out of it, please click the like button. I would really appreciate it. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.